the Androscoggin River Valley, the people, the places, the events, the history, all that makes up the vibrant story of the towns of the Androscoggin River Valley from Lewiston, Auburn through Mexico, Rumford, and Bethel to New Hampshire.
Welcome to the April 2017 edition of Today River Valley. Today River Valley is the video news feature program for the towns of the Androscoggin Valley in western Maine. My name is Phil Blampied. I'm the host and producer of the program. In this edition, we're going to be looking at the phenomenon of the lost in the state of Maine, both the serious issue of missing persons and the not-so-serious problem of missing objects and missing money. For some reason this winter, there seem to have been new stories about missing persons in the news every single week. We're going to look into that and also into the excellent search and rescue program that the state of Maine runs that's able to bring most people back home. We're also going to be looking at the phenomenon of lost objects and the biggest lost and found department in the entire state, the State Treasurer's Office itself. All that and more after messages from local businesses.
Today River Valley is sponsored by the Sudbury Inn, lodging, fine dining, and a lively pub right on Main Street in Bethel, Maine.
Make the Sudbury Inn your headquarters for your next trip to Bethel. Centrally located downtown, this charming 19th century inn is right in the middle of shopping, skiing, fine dining, and all other Bethel attractions. Accommodations range from a full apartment with its own fireplace to deluxe two-room suites to single rooms. And you don't have to go far to find the best of Bethel, from fine dining in the main dining room to pub fare and live music in the popular Suds Pub to a bistro menu and bar in Bistro 151, featuring light fare with a creative flair.
Chicken roulade, boneless breast of chicken stuffed with goat cheese, prosciutto, and asparagus served on a bed of spinach in a sauce poulet. Salmon and sorrel sauce, a classic French dish served in cream sauce flavored with sorrel.
Blackened sea bass with a cucumber salsa, citrus glazed veal short ribs with an Asian sauce. The Sudbury Inn is family friendly, can accommodate pets, and as the magazine Bon Appetit put it, is the perfect way to end a day in Bethel. Call today for more information.
Year after year, residents of the River Valley have been able to count on Murphy's Accounting Services for tax preparation and accounting services. In business for over 30 years, Murphy's is ready to help with your return. Well, April is here, and if you're a little late this year, we can easily file for an extension for you. William and Deborah invite you to call for an appointment or use our easy drop-off service at Crescent Avenue, just off Route 2 in Rumford. Open Monday to Friday, 9 to 8, Saturday until 4. Thinking about hardware and lumber for spring and summer projects? Consider The Numbers at Puya Lumber. The Numbers show a locally owned store with prices often competitive with chain and box stores. The Numbers show savings on gas and time by buying locally. The Numbers show even more savings with free delivery on orders over $50. Consider The Numbers at Puya Lumber. Buying locally can add up nicely. Puya Lumber, 369 River Road, Route 2, Mexico, Maine. Call 364-9999.
Hi, I'm Roger Whitehouse, owner and designated broker of Riverside Realty in Mexico, Maine. April is tax time, and if you're getting a healthy refund this year, there's no better place to put it than in real estate. If you're not getting a refund this year, come talk with us, and we can show you how real estate may afford you an opportunity to get a refund next year. Let's look at a couple right here.
This is MLS 1291155, a former restaurant on Route 2, Main Street, Mexico, Maine, in an excellent location with off-street parking in a high-traffic area. Improvements include new carpet on the first floor, some new kitchen equipment. Property includes the restaurant, 2 lounges, and an office. Second and third floor apartments are in need of renovation, listed at $199,000. This is MLS 1294129, a 1952 Garrison Colonial in Rumford with 7 rooms, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, and tastefully renovated with hardwood floors throughout. This property includes a detached gambrel, 2-car garage with loft, and a 14-foot by 16-foot shed, listed at $147,900.
My staff of 6 has over a combined work history of over 100 years. We're here to serve you. Whether you're considering buying or selling real estate, call Riverside Realty at 369-0100. Hope to see you soon.
Is the furniture at your place just a little stale and worn out after being shut in all winter? It's time for a visit to Gallant's Discount Furniture, the complete furniture discount store and showroom right near the well-known Roxbury Pond in Roxbury, Maine, just a few miles up scenic Route 120 from the Route 2 junction. Drive a little, save a lot. Ask about our free delivery and setup.
Hi, I'm Lori Gilbert from Bethel Living Magazine, and you're watching Today River Valley, the video news feature program for the towns of the Androscoggin Valley and Western Maine.
Every year, there are hundreds of people reported missing in the state. Some people get lost in the woods, some drive off in a car and don't come back, some just walk down the street and disappear. They officially become a missing person when someone notices that they're gone and calls a local or state official to report it. According to a definition provided by the Auburn Police Department, a missing person is defined as a person whose whereabouts are unknown by close family members, friends, or associates, and whose safety and welfare cannot be confirmed. This year, the problem of people going missing has been more noticeable than in the past, with numerous high-profile cases receiving a lot of news coverage. State and local officials take the matter seriously. With its millions of acres of wilderness, Maine may be an easy place to get lost in, but it's also a place where you can count on a professional response quickly if you do.
Yearly, just for the Warden Service, our cost for search and rescue averages somewhere around $330,000 to $350,000 a year. I am Kevin Adam. I'm a lieutenant with the Maine Warden Service. I'm a lieutenant in Greenville, Maine, but I'm also the search and rescue coordinator for the state. Now, since I've been the search and rescue coordinator, we've had years that have been like $520,000, and we've had years that have only been $217,000. 92% of the people are going to be located within the first 12 hours. Either they find themselves, or they make contact, or we find them. Some sort of way they're getting found. Within 24 hours, 97% of the people that are reported to us are going to be located. So to have a search that goes beyond one day is actually very rare. It's only 3% of the people.
The figures may show that most missing persons aren't missing for long in Maine, but several prominent unresolved cases this year have caught the public's attention. Diana Esty, a 71-year-old resident of Medford, Maine, was reported missing in November after people noticed her house was empty over a period of several days. With few leads to go on, the Piscataquis County Sheriff's Office, the Maine Warden Service, and area volunteers spent 2 days searching both on the ground and with aircraft, but she wasn't located. The case remains open. Esty is 5 feet 2 inches tall, 100 pounds, with gray hair and green eyes. She may have been wearing a purple jacket. Derek Adams, 46, disappeared one night in late December from his apartment in Byron, Maine. The day after he disappeared, a 2-foot snowstorm hit the area. He was believed to have had his dog with him, and several days later, the dog returned to the apartment, but without Derek. The Oxford County Sheriff's Office, the Warden Service, and trained volunteers conducted an initial search. Then volunteers organized by Adams' family continued searching intermittently for over a month. No trace has yet been found, and the search is planned to resume after the snow melts. On February 3rd, Newfield resident John Sciaba, 34, went camping in the woods behind his house and was not seen again. The Warden Service and the York County Sheriff's Office searched for several days and did find a campsite that he had used, but severe snowstorms brought the search to an end after several days. Then there are the cases that finally did get resolved, but tragically. On November 29th, Evariste Munyansanga, a Rwandan immigrant living in Portland, was dropped off at his apartment and never seen again. Friends and family reported him missing 3 days later, but no trace was found until a body washed up on a beach in Cape Elizabeth, January 17th. Because of its condition, the identity of the body wasn't immediately established, but it was eventually determined to be Munyansanga. Munyansanga was an avid long-distance runner and would frequently run along the coastline. Police assumed that a mishap, perhaps connected to his history of heart disease, had caused him to go into the water and die. On January 29th, a 40-year-old Sanford, Maine woman, Carrie Rear, was reported missing. Rear was last seen inside the Lil Mart convenience store in Sanford on January 22nd. When last seen, Rear was described as being disoriented, wet, and wearing no shoes. A search by the Sanford Police and the Maine Warden Service included a search plane and tracking dogs, and it followed the road outside the store toward the New Hampshire border, but with no result at first. Then, in early March, after a couple of warm weeks had reduced the depth of the snow, a Maine warden taking another look at the area around the store found Rear's body just 600 feet from where she had last been seen. As the snow continues to melt away, some of the other cases may be resolved as well.
Right now, we're in the winter time. We've had a couple missing person cases, and then right after them, we've had major snowstorms, okay? So we're going to do some searching for them, but once there's 2-3 feet of snow, I'm not putting the search resources out there because their probability of detection is going to be extremely low, extremely low. Now, that doesn't mean that if there's a missing kid or something today, we're going to search, but we have to take each search and look at what our search resources can do and what their success rate would be. Survivability depends on the person, depends on the weather, depends on what they have for clothing, and depends on their will to survive, really. So that's a very, very broad question. I will always say that people can survive longer than people think they can, okay? We've had many cases where it's been extremely cold, people have not had good clothing on, and we find them the next morning and they're just a little bit hypothermic, okay? So the human spirit lives on pretty hardy, especially in Maine. We had a search last year up in Greenville for a woman who had some memory issues, and she ended up being straight line over 2 miles from her house in the woods. And that was one of the farthest Alzheimer's cases we've seen. She's very, very lucky that we found her when we did for her to be alive. The weather was good.
How long did it take to find her?
It took us 3 days to find her.
At least in the woods, the chances of missing persons being found can be improved by how they themselves behave.
The first thing is, when you realize you're lost, stop. Just stop right where you are. That way we can't get any more lost than you already are. Hopefully that person has left somebody responsible with a plan that I'm going for a walk, this is where I'm going, if I don't return by this time, please try to find me or call the authorities. If they can't figure out where they are, the best thing to do is start finding the most open place that you can find. Get out of the canopy, maybe get into a field or get into some place that has openings through the canopy so airplanes or helicopters could see you, and then build a shelter and get ready to stay there until somebody finds you. Our search numbers have been decreasing over the past 9 years, from a high of about 510 searches to right now, for the last year that we've done, about 363. So that number has been going down steadily. One, I think smartphones and GPS technology have helped out quite a bit. The other is the use of cell phones. People can have instant communication with people now. So you can ask, are you lost? Are you injured? If you are lost, where do you think you are? Maybe I can come find you. So I think that has slowly over time assisted people more than we saw in the past. If anybody wants to become a volunteer on a certified search and rescue team, they should get a hold of Maine Association of Search and Rescue, which is on the internet, and they have great ways to get you involved in search and rescue in the state of Maine.
Today River Valley is sponsored by the Sudbury Inn, lodging, fine dining, and a lively pub right on Main Street in Bethel, Maine.
Sportoma on Route 2 Mayville Road in Bethel is Western Maine's outdoor retail specialist, your first stop for quality ski tuning, custom ski boot fitting, and all the equipment and accessories you'll need. Look for our tent sale this month, all outerwear on sale and all hard goods deeply discounted. And ask about our gift certificate special. Get 10% off by mentioning this ad. That's right, pay $9 and get a $10 gift certificate. Just mention this ad. Sportoma, open 7 days.
When you visit Western Maine, step out of the ordinary. Stay in Victorian splendor at Holiday House Bed and Breakfast, where our guests relax in the elegant surroundings true to the style and atmosphere of 100 years ago. It's your Victorian home away from home. Holiday House Bed and Breakfast, right on Main Street in the center of Bethel Village. Open year-round.
The Jolly Drayman Pub and the Briarley Inn, a gracious inn in Bethel, Maine with an authentic British pub featuring classic pub fare.
This is Helena at the Jolly Drayman Briarley Inn. Stop by, come to see us. Looking forward to your visit.
After dinner, indulge yourself with a stay in one of the comfortable rooms upstairs in the Briarley Inn, featuring cuddly blankets, down feather pillows, soft linens, fluffy towels, and casual rustic decor. The Jolly Drayman, the authentic British pub in Bethel, Maine, located in the Briarley Inn. In our last segment, we described several cases in which missing persons have not been found or were not found in time. But the greater number of missing persons do get found, and Maine Warden Lieutenant Kevin Adam remembers one incident that turned into the best Christmas gift ever possible.
2 years ago, we got called out on Christmas Eve. It was a very cold night. A man went walking in the afternoon. Several hours went by. Did not come home. Typically, a search call is going to come in right after dark when the person's supposed to be home or they're supposed to be seen. And now it's dark out, and the loved one is like, yeah, now it's time to call. Local fire department resources and county sheriffs were there. We got a couple of our canines there very quickly. This was a very high urgency case because of the cold, because of how long he had already been out. One of our canines, Jeremy Judd, and his canine, Tunny, went and started a track, and the dog was going up a old woods road, and Jeremy said I could kind of see some footprints every once in a while. The road continued on kind of to the right, and he had some fire department members with him. Tundra stopped and wanted to go to the left, just right through the woods. There was no trail, there was no nothing. Several of the people were like, yeah, there's nothing down there, the dog must be wrong. Jeremy said, well, we'll find out. Tundra went down there, about 100 yards, found the person laying down on the ground down there. So that was a great find that needed to happen. It was very cold, he was hypothermic, and... this
was all taking place in the middle of the night?
All in the middle of the night on Christmas Eve, and found him and got him back to his loved ones that night. There's many, many stories like that for old people, children. We've had many, many finds.
Yes, there is a health food store in Rumford, Maine. Good Karma Cafe and Health Food.
Hi, we're Glenn and Sandy Gordon, owners of Good Karma Cafe and Health Foods at 72 Congress Street in Rumford, Maine. Check us out on Facebook, goodkarmahealthfoods.com, hashtag eat well, live well, hashtag be kind, do good, eat spinach.
You should see the reviews on Facebook.
Excellent food and superb service.
Taste the freshness.
So pleased to have this much needed establishment.
Good Karma Cafe and Health Foods, open Monday through Saturday. The news is spreading fast about the superb Thai, Asian, and American cooking at the Lure restaurant in Rumford, Maine, right off Route 2 by the shopping center with Martin's. Located in the former Tina's restaurant, the Lure features skillfully prepared Thai and Asian specialties, plus seafood and some great American dishes as well, such as all-American fried clams. Owners Ned and Dee Dee serve up generous portions with the freshest ingredients, prepared with skill and care. Now featuring Pinot Grigio and Pinot Noir on tap. Plenty of parking, open for lunch or dinner Tuesday through Sunday.
Come to the Lure. One bite and you'll be hooked.
Excuse me, sir, are you getting a little shaggy around the ears but can't find time for a haircut? Well, now you can. At Lisa's Barbershop at 178 Main Street in Mexico, owner Lisa Shardlow specializes in quick haircuts. No appointment is necessary and there's rarely a wait. At Lisa's, the motto is cut and go.
You can't get a facial here, you can't get a pedicure here, but what you can get is a great haircut.
Open Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to noon.
Guys, you need a barbershop, not a salon. Lisa's Barbershop. Haircuts, not pedicures.
Why do the rich and famous flock to Connie's place at 136 Congress Street, right across from the post office in downtown Rumford? Connie's famous Reuben sandwich? Is it the generous nachos? The unbelievable onion rings? Is it that kids under 3 eat free and kids under 12 half price? The answer is yes.
Connie's, where families meet to eat.
This is Connie Asno, and we look forward to serving you in our historical downtown Rumford restaurant.
Connie's Place, now open at 136 Congress Street, downtown Rumford on the island.
Washing machines are offering more and more features each year. Well, you may not find anything quite like this yet at Larson's Electric Service in Mexico, but you'll find the latest in everything from washing machines to refrigerators to stoves. With the Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Maytag brands, Larson's offers free delivery and setup of your new appliance plus removal of your old appliance. Over 50 years experience, Larson's, 13 Main Street, Mexico, Maine.
At Dan's Automotive, you'll find reliable used cars priced from $3,000 up. You'll get more car for less money. These are brands that are known for their reliability and long life, and each is mechanically updated, even including new timing belts when needed. Cars come with state inspection and 14-day plates. Come browse the lot at 625 Crescent Avenue in Rumford and grab your car before somebody else does.
We bought our car at Dan's, and we're glad we did.
Dan's Automotive Repair and Sales, 625 Crescent Avenue, Rumford, Maine, 369-9302. We own a lot of stuff in this country, and over time, a lot of that stuff goes missing.
A couple of cell phones, a iced coffee cup, some binders, and a backpack.
Checking accounts, certificates of deposit, overpayments, gift certificates, paid up life insurance policies.
This past Halloween, we did end up with this nice mask here.
As a result of our tendency to lose things, many if not most public facilities have a lost and found department. This is true of everything from restaurants to hotels to schools like Mountain Valley High School in Rumford and ski areas like Sunday River in Newry. But the biggest of all the lost and found departments in Maine can be found in the state government itself.
My name is Terry Hayes, and I currently serve as the treasurer for the state of Maine. At the beginning of the new fiscal year, July 1 of this year, we had $211 million in unclaimed property, and we've taken in more than $10 million since then, so we have over $220 million of Mainers money. We have an unclaimed property program. Basically, we're the lost and found. Financial assets that belong to Mainers that are in the hands of businesses, any kind of businesses. If they have money that does not belong to them, but belongs to a Mainer, and they have been unsuccessful at returning that money to the Mainer, there's a statute that says that that money must eventually, if it's unclaimed, be turned over to the state and to the state treasurer. And then my staff and I are responsible for trying to identify, locate the rightful owner, and return the money to them. Go to our website, which is maine.gov/UP search or up search. And when you get to that site, you plug in your name and you see if there's a match. And depending upon, you put your name in, it'll search. There may be more than one individual in the database with the same name. So then we'll look at other information that would be provided, and you can find whether or not there's any property listed under your name. And we give limited information on the web about the actual properties because we want to make sure that we're dealing with the rightful owner before we give all the financial details.
So if you find your name, what do you do next?
You file a claim right online.
And how long does it take to get the money if you file a claim?
Like most, it depends. The time it takes us to process, we have to do it within 90 days. We've never gone beyond that 90-day limit, but it also has a volume. I have 4 staff people dedicated to unclaimed property here in the office. And sometimes we had a real success problem this past February, and we had a backlog of over 13,000 claims at one time. And that's a lot for a staff of 4 to process. But we still stay within inside that 90-day window, if you will. If there's a solid Social Security match, an address match, it'll be done by the software that we use relatively quickly, and it might be within a week. We returned over $15 million basically in FY15, and the bulk of that came in the last 6 months, January to May.
In addition to abandoned bank accounts and other financial assets, the State Treasurer's Office also receives and holds the contents of abandoned safe deposit boxes, actual objects rather than just numbers on a balance sheet.
So when a bank has a safe deposit box that is no longer been paid for, after a period of time they drill the box and they will inventory what's in the safe deposit box, seal it up until it's time to be sent to the Treasurer's Office for unclaimed property.
What is that time?
3 years of dormancy from the last payment of the safe deposit box. Jeff Chakowskis, Senior Staff Accountant.
Then there are the lost items that never get found at all. A lot of them wind up going to charity.
My name is Natalie Dunn. I'm the Ticket and Guest Services Manager here at Sunday River. Any hats, mittens, gloves, snow pants, jackets, anything like that. Last year we had a student from Gould Academy, which is one of the private schools here in Bethel. They were doing their senior program, working with the program. They would come and take any of our wearables, wash them and distribute them throughout the homeless communities throughout Maine.
Matt Gilbert, principal of Mountain Valley High School here in Rumford, Maine. In past years, what we've done is we've brought them to different charities around the community. In recent years, we've actually opened a clothing closet here at Mountain Valley High School that was developed by one of our teachers, Raquel Welch. She had the idea that we have a lot of kids right now that have the need for clothing. It really began with the outerwear needs of kids during the wintertime and has grown from there. And so what we'll do now with our Lost and Found, we'll bring it down to the Family Consumer Science Room. And they'll wash the clothes there. Then our students in our Freshman Academy will fold and sort all of the clothing to be handed out when students need something.
But the state doesn't have that option. It is required by law to hold unclaimed property indefinitely, and with the difficulty of finding some owners, that could wind up being forever.
Yes, in that our obligation to return this money to the rightful owner exists in perpetuity. There's no statute of limitations. But there are items that we've acquired that just don't have enough identifying information with them that I would probably never be able to confidently give it to one individual and know that that was the rightful owner.
Hi, I'm Lisa Shardlow from Lisa's Barbershop in Mexico, Maine. You're watching Today River Valley, the video news feature program for the towns of the Androscoggin Valley in western Maine.
Let's look at a couple of businesses from Turner, Maine.
Looking for an inexpensive but reliable used car? Shop Duval Auto Sales on Route 4 in Turner. Just check out these great reviews on Google.
Hi, this is Darren from Duval Auto Sales. I'm here to tell you that we sell quality cars to the hard-working people of Central Maine.
Spring is coming, and at Scott's Recreation there are great pre-season deals on RVs, from entry-level travel trailers to high-end fifth wheels. Take advantage of them now and be ready to go camping as soon as the weather breaks. Scott's Recreation, with locations on Route 4 in Turner, Maine and Route 202 in Manchester, Maine.
Mountain Valley Variety at Four Corners in Rumford, known as the happiest corner in town, is twice as happy with a new expansion that has more than doubled its size. If there's a cold beverage, you'll find it here with 20 cooler doors and the coldest and largest beer cave in Maine.
Hi, I'm Rick from Mountain Valley Variety in Rumford. I want to welcome you to my brand new beer cave. We have over 500 items in all. Whatever you want, we either have or we can get.
Head to Mountain Valley Variety for grab-and-go pizza, sandwiches, lobster rolls, hot foods. Don't forget the hand-cut steaks if you're grilling out tonight.
Come on down to Mountain Valley Variety and see us all.
That's it for the April 2017 edition of Today River Valley. If you ever want to find previous editions, there are links on the website, todayrivervalley.com. We're on Facebook, too, at the Today River Valley Facebook page. Be sure to like us. This is Phil Blampede, the host and producer. See you next month.